Hello and welcome to the Health Oddity Podcast, episode 273. If you are listening on or near the day of release, it is the 21st of November 2025. So, moving towards that time of year again where we all get very festive and we watch National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation and Die Hard and all that
Yep.
kind of stuff. Yep. So today it is Pete and I, and we are reflecting on the last 4 weeks of guests. I will just remind you of the last 4 weeks of guests. If you haven't listened to all 4 episodes, you may want to go back and listen to one or all of them. Last week, episode 272 was Mark Tonner talking all about Lift for Life that is happening this December, the 27th to the 28th. It's a 24-hour deadlift charity kind of challenge. We'll talk a little bit more about that later on in this episode. Episode 271 with Mel Anderson, where we were talking all about kind of menopause age, I suppose, and training and starting where you find yourself, and kind of grassroots fitness for everyone. We talked about the trying to engage with the approximately 87%, I think we said, of people who don't really do any regular exercise at the moment in this country, certainly in England anyway. Maybe slightly different, similar stats I think in America and all over the world, but that's what it is over here. Previous to that, we had Theo Newton on from Ultra Wellness talking about all things, to improve your injury, optimal performance and good health and all the rest of it, which was really interesting. And then before that, we had Hannah Fitzgerald on from near Cambridge, in Cambridgeshire, talking about weightlifting, powerlifting, strong woman, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, loads to talk about, and also things that have been going on this week and the last couple of weeks. But how are you doing, Pete? You okay?
Yeah, I'm all right. It's funny because I feel like I haven't got a lot on at the moment, which is a bit weird because it's been really busy over summer and everything. And then I'm kind of like, when you've got things that you feel like you need to do, but you don't. So I'm like, I should be doing more.
But you've just come from a meeting, haven't you? I think
I have, yeah,
just
yeah.
come.
No,
Yeah.
it's
So what was that? What was that meeting about?
what's good about this sort of time of year is like I haven't got a lot on, so I can meet a lot more people and go for coffees and stuff like that. But there was somebody who comes along to the walks who said they were socially prescribed. So this person said they were depressed, and they went to the doctor. The doctor put them onto this person who works for the NHS, and they get referred, and then they sent them our way. They've just got like a load of different flyers and things like that of community things and stuff that goes on in Bath in the local area, and it happens all over the country apparently. And they suggest things and say go and try that, and then if it doesn't work, they can get referred back and stuff. I didn't know this was a thing. So this guy told me about that, so I just got in touch with her. The lady mentioned who she was, and I got in touch with her through the NHS website. Sent her an email, and then we went for a call. There was her and another lady who was great. She said the other lady who's also socially prescribed for different. It's kind of like for different GP surgeries around the area, and she said, "Oh, I see your photos pop up on social media every now and then, and I see my guy, like some of my guys in there who I've sent along." So I'm like, oh, "Brilliant! I didn't even know you were doing that." So it was just really nice to chat to them and tell them about like what we're up to and find a bit more about what they're up to. So it was the thing that I told them about Ainsley in Dubai, and how it's great because like he went to the doctor and the doctor didn't say here's some medication. He said here's 9 things that you need to do or whatever. And I was like, it's really good because doctors, bless them, only get like 6 minutes or whatever with someone, and they've got to try and make a decision. And the people inevitably don't tell them everything that they need to know and all that. Whereas if it's like a low mood thing or something like that, and they go, right, we're going to refer you to this person who's going to spend more time with you. So I think it's just really nice.
It's funny you mention Ainsley, actually, because just before coming on here, I hadn't seen anything from him for a while, and he put a really thought-provoking post up, and I thought, oh, might be quite good to catch up with him again, because we reference him a lot, don't we, on the
Yeah,
podcast?
yeah,
We
totally, yeah,
mention him. We mention him probably, I don't know, like once every 3 or 4 podcasts. His name comes up, and I
yeah,
just thought, oh, it'd be really good to reach out to him again and see, see how he's doing and all the rest of it. So I might do that, yeah, because he's one of those characters that, yeah, like you say, we reference quite regularly, like like Steve Bush, who we've had on the podcast, like various people we have, and we kind of reference them. So it's sometimes nice to catch up with people, isn't it, and see how they're doing,
absolutely, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Excellent. Well, yeah, one of the things I wanted to say was, again, former another former guest on the show, Laura Shanks. Just want to say a big well done to her. She has qualified. She in Birmingham recently. She qualified for the High Rocks World Championships 2026, which is in Stockholm. So well done to Laura, because I think, and again, I think mentioning Steve Bush, Steve said to me that this year, I think women to qualify for the World Championships have to now qualify with the pro weights, which is like it's the same as the men's open weights. So the women have like a women's open category weights, and then there's a pro level, and the pro level for the women is the same as the open weights for the men. But there's some serious kind of weights in terms of like the farmers walks and the sled pushes and pulls and all the rest of it. So yeah, massive well done to Laura for that, which was really really good news, that she qualified. I mean, she's been training incredibly hard, training like a professional athlete, really, like multiple sessions a day some days, and really going all in on it. So yeah, she's done brilliantly. Yeah, really
Yeah,
good. Yeah, yeah.
marvelous.
How are you finding the now obviously that we are moving into winter and whatnot, how are you finding the walks, the attendances and stuff on the Saturdays? Is it still kind of holding quite well? Yeah.
Yes, yeah, we
Yeah.
had a couple of weeks ago 50 people
Wow.
across, well, across 2 walks, but then there was 34 on one of the walks, so you just split it and
Mm.
do either way. So that was cool.
Yes.
And then there was 45 last week or something like that. Yeah, so it's fine.
Yeah, so it's
We're
good.
actually, do we tend to get more people during winter? Probably because people have got less on.
Mm.
And if the weather's okay, which it is, I mean, like, well, we're in mid-November at the minute, and it's like 14 degrees outside. It's really nice.
Yeah, no, today was really
I was out walking the dog, and I had to take my hoodie off because I was too hot. So yeah, plenty. Like, it seems that there's more people about in winter,
mm.
or this time of year before Christmas, because um, Christmas will be coming up and people will be overindulging and all that sort of stuff.
Mm.
And they'll
Mm.
be busy as hell in December. So kind of October, November seems to be quite a busy time, which is
And
great.
it's also like you say, if the weather, like this morning, I went out, I got to the gym at about 6:15 this morning, but I get myself ready, obviously in the house, and then walk out the door. And I kind of it's got to the stage where I've got my kind of bobble hat, my beanie type hat to put on in the mornings. And I kind of put it on and walk. I've still got shorts on, so I've got shorts and a hoodie and a bobble hat when I walk out the door. But I walked out the door and thought, this is really warm. I don't
Yeah.
need this, you know what I mean? And I got to the gym, and there's a couple of guys who'd already opened up, who'd started sessions at 6 a.m. And both of the shutters in the gym were like wide open at 20 past 6 this morning, and it wasn't cold at all, So
No. But I've been in your gym when it's cold, and it's
yeah,
cold.
yeah, yeah. But it was like, in fact, I took my hoodie off even, so I was just in shorts and t-shirt,
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
the shutters wide open, which was
Yeah.
great.
There we go.
Yeah, and another thing I want to say is, yeah. So to touch on the Lift for Life that we spoke to Mark about last week. So I've now, signed up fully as a gym, as Unique Results to do that over the 24 hours, 11 a.m. on the 27th of December to 11 a.m. on the 28th of December. And obviously, I think I said on the episode last week that I kind of felt guilty, really, because I was going to probably go home for about 4 or 5 hours and just lock up, but I thought, no, I've got to do the whole thing, So yeah, we're gonna go for that. So if you are anywhere near, Essex, Chelmsford, whatever, and you want to come along and join in on that, we have signed up as a gym to do that, and we'll be looking at for people to come. And I haven't decided exactly if we're going to book in slots for 15 minutes or half an hour, and you'll like maybe donate, 10 or 20 quid and come along and do your lifting for as much as you can do in your allotted time slot, and we'll try and keep going. Because I thought if it's 24 hours and people sign up for half an hour, then you need 48 people, don't you? And then
You
obviously,
also need to find people who are going to sign up at like 2 o'clock in the morning.
yeah, well, that's going to be the
You got
hardest one,
you got
isn't
any
it?
shift workers kicking around?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. That's going to be the hardest one between probably 10 p.m. and 6 a.m., isn't it? It's that
Well,
like,
you can just pick up the slack there, can't
well,
you?
I'll be there all night. So yeah,
You can do the 10 till 6 shift, and then everyone else
yeah, that'll
can.
be good. 8 hours through the night.
Yeah,
Oh, dearie me.
eight
Yeah,
hours. That's only a third. It's fine.
yeah, I know. But yeah, you can get a couple of other people to drop in for an hour. That'd be brilliant. Yeah. So that
What day is it on? Is it a Saturday?
it's a Saturday. Yeah, Saturday into Sunday. So
So
it's
you get people on the way back from the clubs and stuff.
oh
Just to
god, yeah. Well,
come past your
I don't
place.
think there are any clubs around now, really. Not in Chelmsford. It's all changed, isn't
I
it?
don't suppose anyone from your gym goes clubbing anymore.
No, they don't. But all that there's not even any. Everything's. I think culturally, I was talking to one of the members, obviously, because a lot of the members now, if they're in their 50s, 50s, 60s, they've got children, sorry, who are
Yeah.
potentially in their 20s or whatever, and they say that actually culturally things are changing now. Like young people don't go out and drink as much and go into bars and clubs and pubs and stuff as much
No?
as they used to when we were young. They obviously, like, drinking now is so expensive and going out is so expensive. He was saying a lot of them, they do more like go around each other's houses and buy drink and take it round there, but they're not. It's not the same kind of culture that it was 20, 30 years ago. Yeah, so, but yeah, we will try and do our best to fill it. And then on a kind of a similar note, I just wanted to, because we've obviously had guests on, I haven't really been able to say, give a rundown, but we did our Dawn of the Deadlift weekend or day last weekend. And we raised £500 for Kids Inspire. And it was an absolutely amazing event. And I've got to say a massive thank you to, again, former guest on the show, John Valgier Williams, who came all the way from sort of West London, and he judged and helped referee for the event. And he was there from before we started till when we packed up, and we went for a drink and had some food afterwards. And he was an absolute dream to work with. So yeah, massive thank you to John for coming all the way and doing that, and massive thank you to Gary as well, Gary Clark. Did I tell you this? I can't remember if I mentioned this. I don't think I did, because we had guests obviously, but Gary, bless him, came on the Saturday, travelled from Somerset to Chelmsford, public transport. So he did a like a National Express type coach from Somerset to Hammersmith in London, tube across London, Hammersmith to Liverpool Street, train Liverpool Street to Chelmsford, taxi Chelmsford train station to the gym. And he turned up, and he'd been traveling for 5 hours, and with his cerebral palsy, he was so stiff, he couldn't even sit on his thing and reach down and reach the barbell. He was so he really had to like warm him up and try and squeeze him into shape so he could reach the bar, sorry. And he did brilliantly as well. So yeah, massive thank you to Gary Clark. And then I saw they were all at Birmingham last weekend, weren't they, as well?
Yes.
Did you see that? Yeah.
Yeah, everyone was there, weren't they? Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah. For
the whole lot of
G,
them.
because I think that's GB's disabled, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like Gary's Britain's disabled, and I think that's GB or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we were in because we were in the group, weren't they, for like Gary's group when they
Yeah.
were messaging and that, and they asked for people to go along and help.
Mm.
And I wanted to, but like I just can't at the minute because I've got like the walks at the weekends and stuff, and
Yeah.
we need like I'm leading some of them at the minute, so I can't get away.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to do it. That would
Oh,
have
that's
been
one that I'll definitely look at doing. Yeah, I'll definitely, because what I was due to be helping out and assisting at the Strong First up in Lilleshall weekend
yeah.
just gone. But I kind of cancelled that because I'm going to Iceland next week, obviously for the Magnus Classic. So I didn't want to be away for too many weekends, and that obviously would have clashed as well. So, but no, that's something that I'll definitely be up for, because I know Matt Diamond was up there judging, and lots of the people that we obviously were with in Brunel were there, weren't they? I saw on the
Yeah.
photos and things. So yeah, next year
No,
definitely.
that's one of the things. It's like like, when it's not like we're involved in all of these things, but we see all of these things, and like, we get to talk to more people and see these things happening. And I'm like, I just want to go to them all.
Yeah,
It's like, I want to be there, and I want to be there, and I want to do this,
yeah.
and I want to do
And
that, and I also want to build a massive global walking business at the same time, and make a podcast, take off, and all that. So it's like, yeah, it's fine, it's fine. There's plenty of time. And I said I'm not up to much at the minute, but
yeah,
you know what I mean. It's like it's one of those things. It's like weekends for me now are the hardest bit, because I'm, and I like by next year that'll all have fizzled out again. So I'll actually have weekends to be able to do stuff. But again, I like, it's like, um, with you, like, you've got the kids and stuff like that. You want to be there for the weekends and everything, don't you? So you can't do everything, unfortunately.
yeah.
There you go.
And then obviously last weekend as well, we'll give a mention because we will be having Paddy Haynes back on as well. The Rogue Invitational up in Aberdeen. So
Yeah.
that was another one that I kind of looked at potentially going up to. And again, it was just, yeah, logistics and another weekend away and everything. But there was nine strong men up there. Obviously, you also had friends of the show, guests on the show, Rebecca Roberts and Lucy Underdown were up there. And Paddy.
Andrea was there as well, wasn't she?
What's that? Sorry. Oh, Andrea Thompson was up
Yeah.
there competing as well. Yeah. So you had the women, and that was really good because I saw the women, because both the women and the men, the prize money was the same for that one. It was 100,000 prize money for first
Oh, right.
place. I
Wow.
think for the same for the women and the men because it's Rogue. It's a big one, obviously. And Paddy was up there out of nine. He did actually come. I think he came ninth. I think he did come last in the end. But it was a world class kind of field. You have Mitch Hooper and Tom Stoltman and Austin Andrade and
He's also done like 10 did he say it was 10 or something like that? And his
yeah.
social media, it's like he's had and he's been training hard, and he's put on a lot of size and all that. He must be knackered.
And he was meant to be going to the Magnus Classic as well next week, but he pulled out of that, which was definitely wise now looking at because he did win one of the events at the Rogue Invitational. He won the it was the yoke into like a duck walk into a power stairs kind of thing, which was and it took like some people it took them like 2 minutes or something to do, and it took him like he said it. I think he won it by like 30 seconds faster than the next person, but it was still like nearly a minute and a half of just all out, and he said, and they all said it was probably the hardest event they'd ever done, in terms of the weight you had to do and just be working for that amount of time, which doesn't sound a lot like a minute and a half, 2 minutes, but when you're carrying hundreds of kilos as fast as you can upstairs and all the rest of it, it's just, and then he kind of injured himself a bit on the last day as well. So yeah, I think having that time. But like you say, we will be speaking to Paddy again. He said he's going to come back on. So we're just in the process of kind of sorting that out at the moment. But yeah, well done to him. Well done to all the ladies there as well, which was fantastic. Yeah, because it made me think about obviously, when we flew up to Aberdeen and well, you didn't fly up to Aberdeen. I flew up to Aberdeen, but you drove up, didn't you, for the
Yeah, I was just
day?
there
Yeah, you were
already.
there. You were there. You were there. Yeah. Anyway, another thing I wanted to talk about today was I had a conversation with a lady on Monday this week at the gym, and she's part of a new intake on a program that we've got, which really is aimed at people over 50 who are not used to exercising or haven't exercised for a long time. It's kind of looking to establish 6 weeks, looking to establish some consistency, some regular habits, focusing on exercise, focusing on nutrition, and also focusing on sort of lifestyle habits, basically, the walk, the water, the sleep that we talk about and everything. And just before the class, I kind of said, because usually I say, oh, how you feeling? And most people are like, oh yeah, really good. I'm buzzing. I'm feeling great. And she sort of looked at me and she said, oh, she goes, I don't know if this is for me. She said, I don't know if I can do it. And I said, well, what do you mean? She said, well, I'm just finding it really, really hard to kind of to get myself here, to do the food, and she was really, and I was really like, so I spent a bit of time talking to her. And I think this is it's worth us kind of talking about really, because although lots of people who listen to the podcast maybe do exercise and train regularly, or they may be trainers themselves. Um, Most of us have got people in our lives, I suppose, who don't, and who we may
Yeah.
like to encourage a bit more, and whether that be, you know, partner or someone in your family or a work colleague or a friend. Um, and we talk about it, don't we, a lot on the podcast about when you're in an echo chamber and everyone loves training and everyone's doing it, you kind of forget actually how hard it is for someone who is not used to doing it at all, and it is totally alien. And the crux of it was I wasn't going to, but I ended up joining in. I stayed for the actual class. It was another one of my trainers, Joe, taking it, and I went up and basically went round with this lady. And her name's Alison. Went round with Alison and just kind of helped her on each station and just modified each exercise slightly and just kind of gently encouraged her and just almost really just gave her a little bit of extra attention and hand holding. And then she messaged me, which was lovely, later in the evening, and sort of said, "Oh, thank you for that. Actually feel much better after that today." Do you know what I mean? And I think though the thing was that she's gone from not really doing anything to trying to exercise 3 times a week. There's three 30-minute sessions, but if you're not used to doing anything, that's a big jump. Um, Looking a lot more consciously at her food as well. So she's cutting out probably a lot of stuff that she was having before. Looking to increase her steps, looking to increase the amount of water she's drinking, looking to, be a bit more mindful of sleep, all this stuff all at once. And I said, well, I said it's not easy, like if it was easy, everyone would be in fairly good shape and would be doing it. It's not easy. But also maybe I tried to get her to take a little bit of pressure off of herself and say, well, you know, what you're doing is amazing, but don't, if you need to add some more food back in because you feel like you need it, or if just don't worry about everything at once. Let's kind of just get through this. I kind of guarantee, I said, look, I guarantee this is coming up to the end of her second week tomorrow as we record. I said, when you get to the end of 6 weeks, you're going to feel so much better. You're going to totally feel, but it's just these first couple of weeks. I mean, and you probably have lots of people, I'd imagine, come along to the walking groups who, well, I don't know. Are most people who come to the walking group already quite fit and active, or do you get people coming along wanting to be more fit and active and wanting to be more active,
We get all sorts, but I mean, people mainly come for connection and a bit of like to meet people and stuff like that.
Mm,
But I think there's certainly people who turn up who don't think they're going to be able to do it,
mm,
but they inevitably can because we'll wait for them anyway. I
mm,
think with that goes with what Mel was saying, Mel Anderson the other week, wasn't it? Excuse me. That's quite a lot to do in a program.
mm,
So as long as she comes to the sessions at the gym,
mm,
she can just drink more water or
mm,
go to bed earlier or like one
mm,
simple
mm.
super simple thing. Go to turn up at the sessions and then do one of the other things at home and that's it. And that's
Mm.
all she needs to do for 6 weeks in the beginning.
Because it's going to
Um,
that's going to be enough when you've not been doing anything, that's going to be enough to make a
yeah,
change, doesn't it? Make a difference.
absolutely, of
Yeah,
course it is.
yeah,
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 yeah. What I
yeah,
love is you just give your gym a great advert because you went round with her. No, but you know what I mean, and that's not
yeah,
what part of it is. But you obviously had the time, probably going to about to go home or something. You were like, well, no, I'll
yeah.
just
Well, I'd gone in. What had I gone in for? Oh, I'd gone in because we had another new lady starting, and I had to do some like starting stats and measurements and stuff with her. So I just popped in. I wasn't really dressed for work, as it were, but I went in just to kind of
well, you had
see.
a suit and tie on.
No, no, I went. No, I went in and just to literally for 15 minutes to drop in and just see this lady before they started the class. But then I ended up obviously having this conversation, and then the classes are only 30 minutes anyway, so I said, "Look, I'll come up with you and go round it with you." Um, and yeah, so I'm probably going to do the same tomorrow as well because I need to go in and do some weigh-ins at the end of the second week just to check where people are, and then I'll stay and just do that session with her as well. Um, but yeah, it is. You can see why people. maybe if they join a big gym or a big health club or something like that, where you literally just pay your money and you go turn up yourself, you can see why so many people just drop off, because she would drop off, you know what I mean, without a doubt,
Mm.
without the extra help and the care and the attention and things like that. So that's why, I suppose, why we've got this, why we said, 13% of people are kind of actively training regularly and 87% aren't. Um, it's not, well, yeah, it's an intimidating place for people, fitness and health,
Yeah,
if they're not
absolutely.
used to doing it, which is why, the kind of things that you're doing, with Walk Path and Walking Solves, it's just making things as accessible as possible, isn't it? For people,
Absolutely. But the thing is,
yeah.
it's not even, it goes beyond that, doesn't it? It's not even gym or joining a big club or
Mm,
whatever. It's any change that you make, your brain sees it as a threat. So
mm,
it'll do anything it can for you not to do it. It'll be like, no, 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 no. You're perfectly fine where you are. Because that's
mm.
all your brain wants. It sees change as a threat and it just wants to keep you alive.
Yeah, yeah,
So that's why, like, absolutely anything, But then, like, once you've done that first bit and then you do start going to the gym, then you might be like, right, well, I've got to change what I do now. I've started out doing the easy stuff. Now I need to move up to the, every level, every change that you make and every step that you make, it creates um, another new change, another new thing for your brain to worry about. So then you've got to get over that as well. So it's the whole thing of um um what's it called? Expanding your comfort zone, isn't it?
yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
And how's things going? Just touching on that, because your foot is 100% now, is it? Pretty much
95%, I
95,
reckon.
95%.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I had an X-ray last week, and it was like there's still a bit like it needs to knit together. There's still a bit missing. The
Okay.
guy was
Okay.
like, sometimes we'd have to put a pin in it, but he goes, you can see it's creating new bone on the X-ray, apparently.
Mm,
So that
yeah.
was pretty cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's
Excellent.
all good. So I'm out doing 10-mile walks again and stuff with the dog, so that's all right. So it must
Any
be.
pain or discomfort in the foot, or not really?
I can feel it, but it's fine. You just
It's like a 2 out of
get
10
on
or
with it.
something.
Get on
Yeah.
with it,
Yeah.
don't you?
Yeah.
How's the Achilles?
That's better. Yeah, I've got a little issue in one of my other foot now, but that was just, yeah, that's getting better now. It's just one of those things, isn't it?
It
Uh,
is, and this is one of those things I've said for years. And I've said it to other people who are like, "This is sore," and I'm like, "Well, when you sort that out, something else will be sore, and then something
mm,
will just chase it around your body because that's how it goes, and that's how
yeah,
it goes for anybody."
yeah. I find that that's how it goes with, even like with business and stuff. Like I'm running a business with, multiple members of staff and lots of members and stuff, and that one issue will arise. I think one issue will arise, and you'll be stressed with that for a little bit, and you'll deal with it, and then as soon as that's dealt with, then the next thing
Yeah,
the next thing
you're like,
happens.
right, that's dealt with. I'll go home now, and it's like, oh, hang on, it's like,
Yeah, and it's like
oh.
the next thing happened, so it's kind of, it's just life, isn't it? You deal with one
Exactly.
thing and you think you kind of sorted it, and then the next thing comes up.
But that's the expectation, isn't it? Of thinking like, once I do this, everything will be sorted, and that'll be.
Mm,
And isn't it? It just doesn't end. There's always something. You sit still
mm,
for long enough, and something you'll have to move. It's like in the supermarket, right? When I'm thinking about what I need, right? I never get a trolley because I'm never there that long because I like to get in and out because I hate those places.
mm,
Um, but I'll have a basket of stuff. And, oh, what do I need? So I'll put it down on the like a side or something and stand there, and I'll be next to like I don't know cottage cheese or something, right? Like name a random thing that you're standing next to, and
mm,
I'll be like, right, what do I need? And someone will come along and be like, excuse me, I need to be there. And it's like, because they're after the cottage cheese or whatever, like
mm, mm,
something, there'll be something that nobody ever buys, but I'll go and that I'll stand next to, and someone will need to be there, right? If you stand there long enough, you will have to move. So it's that.
mm.
So things don't stand still because, like I'll lean against a lamppost in the street and I'll end up in someone's way. And I'm like, how can I be in the way? There's a lamppost here, but they'll want
Yeah,
to be where I am. So
yeah,
it's
yeah,
that thing. If you stay somewhere long enough, you'll eventually have to move out the way. So you might as
yeah.
well just keep moving.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. No, it's yeah. So no, so everything with me is pretty good. I'm following you. So you're doing everything now. You're back doing pistols. You're doing presses. You're doing
Yep,
pull-ups. Yeah,
yep,
yeah,
yep, yep.
brilliant.
The
Yeah,
works.
yeah. No, I'm on everything with Paul at the moment. And then obviously head out, like I say, to Iceland next Thursday to see Magnus and be out there. And I am officially the driver this year. I've actually already been lined up as a driver. So, yeah,
Brilliant.
Monica messaged me, his wife, and sort of said, "Oh, I understand you're driving. Magnus has asked me to message you to get your flight details so we can pick you up and blah blah blah. Which
You
is
got to
great.
get a cap and all of that.
A cap?
Yeah, like a
Uh,
driver's hat and what have you.
No, no, I won't do that.
No,
Like a chauffeur, you mean, like a proper
you should
chauffeur?
do. You should
Yeah.
turn up dressed like a chauffeur.
It's absolutely chucking it down with snow over there at the moment. It's
Oh, lovely.
ridiculous. Yeah. It's going to
Lovely.
be freezing. It's going to be snow. And it's all outdoors, isn't it? So I'm going to basically take my skiing gear and be wearing that stood outside, because it is freezing,
Yeah,
freezing
but it
and
is called
windy
Iceland.
and yeah, and snowing and yeah, it's going to be very, very cold. But no, that'll be good. And next week we've got Shane Nugent coming on as well. I mentioned that to you from Quantum Nutrition. I had a really good conversation with him. I had a bit of a cat. It's someone that I've been involved with or been in contact with for a few years. And we had a really good chat because he runs a company called Quantum Nutrition, and Shane has got like a degree, a master's. He's halfway through his doctorate at the moment in nutrition, and he worked with like the British Olympic Committee and stuff on nutrition. Really, really good guy. But what he does is he manages kind of provides nutrition education and coaching for gyms and for personal training studios or groups of people, so that he manages that whole side of it so that you don't need to try and do everything, basically.
Oh wow.
And so he provides sort of like education and webinars and Q&As and does sort of like calls with group calls with the members and presentations and all stuff around all areas of nutrition. So yeah, so it's probably someone that we're going to start using to work with us at Unique Results in January. But he's going to be a guest on the podcast next week. So we're going to talk about all things kind of nutrition with him.
This is good because anyone listening, whoever comes on, James uses them.
Yeah. Well, I
I
try.
use I use like a few different bits, like the natural deodorant and
Yeah.
like Paul McElroy trains us and all that sort of stuff. So
Yeah.
various different things. But yours, like the DEXA scans and Theo from the
Ultra wellness.
cryotherapy
Yeah.
thing and all of
Yeah.
that. Like you've like this is your team, isn't it?
Well, I try, yeah, but it's yeah. I mean, it's only through talking to people and then setting them up to come on, and it's someone who I wanted to have on as a guest for quite a while, because what he does is very, very good and very professional. He's got some really nice thoughts around nutrition as well.
It'll be
In terms,
interesting to see how complicated it actually is.
yeah, I mean, well, his
If
his thing that he really tries to do is not give people. He's very much into not giving people like like meal plans and stuff. Like saying, because he's very much like, well, that's the same as if you're like a personal trainer and you just give someone like a one page, like, here's your kettlebell workout, go and do it. You know what I mean? You're not
yeah,
really, so he's very much about education and helping people understand what they need and really understand it themselves so they can then manage their own nutrition and understand it kind of for life, rather than
yeah, yeah,
rather than relying on a step-by-step meal plan every week. It's really kind of
yeah.
actually understanding it properly. So yeah, I'm looking forward to talking to Shane next week. Yeah, he'll be good. Yeah.
I know that when we had Mike Sweeney on years ago, he's a
Mm,
dietitian, isn't he? Like a
mm.
clinical dietitian. And
Yeah.
he was saying, like, for his, did he do a PhD or a master? Like, where he might have been his master's, whatever it was. Like, they had to like
Mm,
just look at a plate of food and guess how much protein was in it, how much fiber, how much
mm.
carbs, what the
Yeah.
calories were, all of this sorts of thing. And they had to do it within a certain like a small tolerance as well. Probably a better tolerance than what's actually on labels in the supermarket because
Yeah. Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
within like
Yeah.
20% or something, which is like huge. So yeah, that'll be interesting actually, because the education thing is great. Because are you still there?
Oh, sorry, you'd frozen for me.
Oh, you'd frozen for me as well. But
Ah,
anyway,
okay.
it's probably
Don't
it.
know what
But
yeah.
the education thing is great because I don't know a hell of a lot like about it all, but I know what contains protein, and I know what contains fiber, and I know where you
Mm.
get good fats from, and polyunsaturated and monounsaturated and all of that sort of stuff. So I know roughly what a meal should look like for me to stay focused and
Mm.
I'm going to show it up, focused and you know what I mean. What's the word? What's the word? But like kind of to keep your energy up throughout the day and all of that sort of stuff.
And you
That'll
know
be
as well,
interesting to hear.
obviously, what works for you through years of doing it because you cook and prepare all your food from scratch, don't you? Uh,
Yeah.
you're very, very good with that, and you obviously know as well what if you want to maintain like your body weight. You're not looking to lose it, you're not looking to increase it. You're just happy to stay where you are, and then you've got the old knicker elastic sort of, the folding over the box
Yes.
thing.
My
So.
my body weight. I, I struggle to lose weight, but I struggle to put it on as well. I've been the same, like within 4 kilos for like 10 years.
Hmm.
And I wouldn't like I don't know, like it doesn't seem to matter what I do. It's weird. But that's because I don't do anything. If I eat biscuits or something, I'll eat like there'll be a packet in the house, and when they're gone, they're gone.
Hmm.
If there's chocolate in the house, I'll eat that. When it's gone, it's gone, and we don't necessarily buy it in. It's if someone buys it for us, or if Sean comes back with some, or like she
Hmm.
comes back from school with like packs of biscuits that they had
Hmm.
for some event that didn't get eaten or something like that. But once they're gone, they're gone. So I only do it for like a week or so, and then it's done. You know what I mean? So I reckon
Hmm.
like if I had chocolate in the house all the time, I could probably put weight on very easily. To be fair,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. But
And
that's why.
and you walk so much, you're expect yeah, so you're probably your life is fairly um systemized, fairly consistent, isn't it? I
Yeah.
think in terms of, an average week, the amount of steps you do, the food that you eat, it's all fairly consistent. So
It's mainly snacking. That's what it'll be because I don't snack because
mm,
I do stuff. You know,
yeah.
I'm like even to the point where I'll go out and take if I've got time in the afternoon, which I have got time to take the dog for a walk every afternoon, but I'll be out for 2.5 hours with him.
Mm,
So that would be the time that most people at work will be sitting there, get to 3 o'clock and they're tired. They start to have that lull, and then they'll be like, "Oh, I need to go and get a Mars bar or
yeah,
something." Or
go
I
to
need
like a
to,
vending machine or something.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
And if you're at home, that'll be even worse. And
yeah.
that's when people tend to eat in between meals as well, don't they? So I think that's the reason why. Anyway,
Oh, when you're busy, without a doubt. When you're busy, when when you're doing stuff, when you're out, when you're active, it's like anything, and that's where it comes down to that the actual eating is not really hunger related most of the time. It's boredom related. You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
just giving yourself something to do.
I
Yeah.
don't get I don't get bored.
No.
It's
No,
funny
not
though
right.
because I do get to points in the evening and that I'd be like, "Oh, I've had no time for myself today," and Sean would just look at me like, "What are you talking about?" You've done a podcast, which is just having a chat with James. You've taken the dog for a walk. You made your breakfast. You did a session this morning. I'm like, oh yeah.
I was with Guillaume the other day. Guillaume, obviously, we were training on Sunday. And I think after we finished training, we were having a coffee just at the gym. We were sat there, and then we were talking about things because he runs his own business, and I obviously run the business and that. And he goes, "How's Pete doing anyway?" I said, "Yeah," I said, "I think he's very he's got," and he goes, "He seems like he's got a very relaxed life." I said, "Yeah, I think he's like fairly, you're fairly content, aren't you? You
Yeah.
don't have huge amounts of pressure coming from. I'm not saying you don't have any, but you don't have like huge like pressures of like say premises, staff, like
No. No.
overheads, all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? You're fairly you've got a fairly sort of self what's it's not self-sufficient, is it? Is that the word? You kind of you manage your life very well, and your life is kind of very balanced and
That's that's taken a long time to get there, but
yeah,
that's why I don't want premises and I don't want
staff,
um
yeah, paid staff and all that sort of stuff.
well no, that'll have to happen
Yeah,
eventually with the plans that we've got,
yeah.
but that will happen. I've learned over the years how to manage stress
Mm.
and not get stressed out about things and stuff like that. And I basically give myself a lot of time. And if I do, you've done this. I think you get to the point where it's like you've got weeks and weeks and weeks of like busyness, busyness, busyness. And
Mm.
you're like, I need a week. I need to block some time out to let that let myself come back down,
Mm.
so
Mm.
I can handle a lot of pressure. I can handle a lot of stuff over a number of weeks, but like at some point I will explode like everyone. And I
Mm.
did it in my previous life, when I was working in that. I just burnt out because
Mm.
it was day after day after day after day, and there was no respite. Whereas, well, that was my fault as well because I didn't give myself any. Whereas now I'm like, um, it happened a couple of months back, and then it happened at the beginning of this year.
Mm.
Because things have been building and building and building and growing quite well and steadily and everything. And then my coach Brian, I just said to him, "I'm tired," and he was like, "I was waiting for this to happen." He was like, "You've been going at it like really well, and you've been handling it well." So I've just kept like, he's like, "I've kept telling you, and like you do this and do this," and then he went, "I've been waiting for this to happen," and I didn't burn out. I just said, he just said, "Have a week off." I
Mm.
did, and it was great.
Mm. Yeah.
So that's how to manage it. I think people, you must talk about this with Will Polston and all of that sort of stuff. Like it's about doing things consistently over time, and then you have a spurt of where you need to put a lot of time and energy and effort into one thing, don't you? But then you've got to,
Well, it's like you said, didn't you, near the start when you said about the seasons, and you said
yeah,
that
yeah,
Dan John always talks about the seasons, doesn't he? And it's like this for you now is, this kind of period, kind of October, November, December, is going to be, bit more quiet, bit more relaxed. You don't do the Wednesday evening walks.
yeah.
Things change a little bit, don't they, for you? So
What I've also got though, without the premises and stuff like that, I'm looking to sell franchises. So
mm,
I've got the space within my days and schedule, because once those come in, those spaces will get filled.
mm,
So I've left space, because if I'm busy all day, every day, and then I sell some franchises, when am I going to manage that?
yeah.
So it has to be there. So, yeah,
Well, we were talking, weren't we? I think with Dan John, which was about 6 weeks ago, about the glass, wasn't it? The half empty, the half full, and then you can't, if you keep pouring water into a full glass, it just overflows.
exactly.
You get
I
to
mean,
that. Yeah.
I'm going through the Dao De Jing at the minute,
Mm,
a chapter a day, and it's
mm,
brilliant because it's just, and that's one of the chapters is like, just don't overfill stuff.
yeah.
Because if you keep filling stuff up, it overflows, and then you're losing energy and all like balance and everything everywhere. So it's better to just
Mm,
take a take a break.
yeah.
But most people take a break for like 20 years. But it happens, doesn't it? So it's like, no, you take a break for like 2 days or a week or whatever. Like it was half term last week, and
Mm,
Sean's off work and stuff. So um that worked out quite well, because it's like I can get stuff done in the morning, then I can be like, let's go take the dog for a walk in the afternoon,
mm,
and then
mm,
we get to spend time together during the week, which is nice. So,
yeah.
which doesn't usually happen. So yeah.
Yeah. No, well, that's what I'll be doing next week when I go, because I go to Iceland on the Thursday. I come back on the Monday. And although I'll be driving around, but it's literally because it's dark, doesn't get light till about 10 a.m. and then it's dark again about 3 p.m. So you've got like 5 hours of light, and that's when the competition will be on the Friday and the Saturday. And the rest of it will just be kind of, I think in the hotel there's a hot tub outside, there's a sauna, so I'll just do stuff like that. I might try and find somewhere I can go in for a bit of a swim, in the sea over there, which would be interesting. I'll make sure someone's there with me in case I get
Drill a hole.
swept out. Yeah, but yeah, because that's going to be icy, obviously. But yeah, but yeah, all that sort of stuff. So that's going to be nice. I'll have a nice few days there away, and I'll sleep because it's going to be pitch black, at like 4 p.m. and all night. I'll hopefully get a few really good nights sleep as well. So that'll
You
be
say
good.
that it's 10 to 5 now, and it's pretty dark out
I
there.
know it's pitch black here. We get to 10 to 5. Yeah, exactly, exactly. Anyway, well, that was lovely, Pete, catching up. Very, very, very,
Yes, it
very
was very nice. I hope everyone
pleasurable.
enjoyed
Yeah.
our little catch up.
Yeah. It's kind of like sitting in a nice fireside conversation with Pete and James.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like I said, Sean will get in later on, and because she's off to some award ceremony in London. There's a lass who works in her school, the librarian. She was on the Today program this morning
Oh,
on,
okay.
on Radio 4. Yeah, that was interesting actually because I don't usually listen to Radio 4. Certainly in the morning because it's all news and stuff like that. And
Hmm.
this morning was all about people accidentally being let out of prison. Um, there was one of the women from Pussy Riot was on it. Remember them, the Russian band who
Oh, okay.
said something about Putin and got banged up in Russia, and she managed to get out of prison somehow. She dressed up as a porter or something and got out of Russia. So she was on it, and then the next and all of that, and it was like blimey. So like I had an hour of listening to that, and I don't usually listen to the news or anything. I was like, God, this is full on. And
Yeah.
then the last story was this last about the library in school and how lovely it is. And I was like,
Oh, so it ended on a feel good story.
it did, but if she was listening like up until that point, it's like, oh, you got a lot to contend with here.
There we go. Right. Well, that was great. So that is episode 273. Next week, we will be back for episode 274 with Shane Nugent, who I mentioned from Quantum Nutrition. That will be the 28th of November. So that will be the last episode of November. Please do like, share, subscribe, leave a review if you're watching or listening on a platform that allows you to do so, especially Apple Podcasts. Please give us a follow or a subscribe, sorry, on YouTube. And also, if you listen on Spotify, give us a 5-star review on there. I don't think you can I don't think you can do a written review in Spotify. But if you can give us a 5-star review in there, then that would be much appreciated. We will be back next week with Shane Nugent. Thank you very much, Pete.
Thank you.
Thank you. And until then, we'll see you next week. Bye bye.